Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another Watcher of Realms video. Today we are doing our first champion spotlight. We got a couple of content creator events. One for a champion spotlight on Zelus, and the other one is a champion spotlight for Zelus. We're gonna start with Zelus today, and then we'll do Zelus maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. We're gonna start with Zelus, so I'm gonna talk about him a little bit. He was kind of the worst out of the three, so we just had the summon event for him. We had 3 legendaries. It was these two, and then Salazar Slytherin. Yeah, so he was the third. So I didn't get Salazar, unfortunately. It was the one I really wanted, actually. I actually wanted Zelus the most, but I didn't get a chance to get Salazar at all. And I got 2 copies of him, so I do have an Awaken. Let's just start quickly looking at the Awakens. This one increases the basic attack duration by 1 second. It's pretty important. We'll talk about that in a second why. This one just gives attack. This one gives the passive more duration. This gives the cost, which is kind of nice. I wish it was like freaking 10 cost because he's very expensive. That is the biggest downside about him. He's not going to be used in all the content, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, and then the last one basically increases the AoE damage and increases the AoE effect from basic attacks, which is pretty nice. Okay, so if you have all those, you're probably definitely going to be using them. I don't have any skill ups in mind. I would think you probably care the most about this for as far as skill ups. The others are kind of just nice to have in my opinion, but let's just go through the skills while we're at it. So he has basically a large AoE, creates a ground effect, dealing 100% AoE damage afterward, deals 50% AoE damage every second for 10 seconds. Airborne units take half. He can use it pretty quickly if he's fully skilled up, and it's kind of nice because the AoE increases in damage over time as you go. So every second it gets 6% more damage, so it ticks harder and harder. That includes his basic attacks, which also creates an AoE ground effect, right? He also does the vulnerability, which is kind of just a nice thing to have as well. I didn't notice this before, but make sure you notice it says basic attacks are not affected by attack speed bonuses. So it doesn't, I don't think it does anything for the ultimate. It may, but it's very niche, not as useful because it cannot work. So originally when I built him, I was like, oh, I built him full attack speed. And then I looked through his kit more and I was like, oh wait, it literally doesn't even work. So I have a little bit of attack speed. I did not get it intentionally. It just happened to be on some items. But basically what you want is this AoE damage set if you're making sets. Otherwise, you probably just want to go either attack, 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 or like I did, you want to go crit, attack, attack. I've heard attack scales a lot better in this game than crit, but I was able to get 100% crit just because I happened to pick up this ring that had crit rate. It's honestly quite a bad ring, but at least I have some attack on it as well. This one is attack bonus. I got attack speed, which is useless. Attack, which is obviously useful, and crit rate. The crit rate rolled kind of low. It felt bad because I went all the way to the last one just for this crit rate, and then it ended up rolling kind of low. And then we got attack, crit, and just some HP and rage regen. Over here, we just again went for attack and attack. I don't know. It's a lot of gold to level these up, so I'm kind of leaving these at 12. This one, it would be kind of nice to level it up a little bit more because I did get a nice crit rate roll. It'd be nice to just have the extra flat attack from rolling it up. This one, I do have crit damage here, so I kind of want to roll this one up as well, but we're not going to do that quite yet. But promotion, I guess we'll just promote it one more time for the video. Why not? We'll get him 5 out of 5 star. He is level 50 only, not level 60. So take that in mind when you're comparing his damage to some of the other people. Okay, now let me just talk about details real quick. Again, attack interval is 5 seconds. You cannot change it with attack speed. You can see it's 5 standard, and I have attack speed, and it's still 5, so it is not affected. You can see I'm a little bit over the crit cap, which is fine. Again, you want to go mostly attack, and the biggest problem with him is the cost. I don't like him because of the cost. There's only a couple places I do use him, and we're going to go over those places in a minute. So, okay, as far as artifacts, I don't have a lot of artifacts yet, so I kind of just have the only one that I had that works, that's gold. I mean, you can put whatever you want in here. If you don't have a lot, I need to spend more time farming artifacts because right now I just do not have a lot of them. But as far as epic ones, I don't know. You probably just want the one that gives attack, honestly. There's this one that gives attack, and there's also another one that gives attack if there's an ally with nearby. Either one of those would work totally fine. So I might just want to put this one on. Let me see. So 140 plus 8% attack. This is 10% attack only when I'm shielded. But this one does have a pretty high base attack. I'll just leave the gold one just because it has a higher base attack. I do use this bro. What's his name? I'm forgetting this guy's name. Vortex. So he does put shields on, so that I can proc that artifact that way. Now, all right, let's go talk about the two different places that I use him currently. Okay, so Tide is one of the places I use both of these heroes that I'm doing for this. So this section will be kind of similar for both, but I do use Zelus and Zelus both in here. So you can see my Zelus is up here in this corner. He has quite a good range that he can hit a lot of, you know, AoE damage as they come through. So I do use him. Yeah, and I do use Zelus as well, and they both are pretty decent in here because he doesn't do AoE damage, but as a melee, I feel like he does do a lot of damage. At least for my team, he's the strongest I have, so I do use him here. I think a lot of people maybe won't use him here because he doesn't have AoE attacks, but let's just kind of show this fight here, and we'll kind of go through the damage of both of them at the end. We'll kind of compare Zelus and Zelus. I think we're going to know who's going to do more damage here, but I don't have a lot of options for melee right now, so that's kind of just who I have there. You can see he's only doing the single hits. But yeah, I mean, we just blast through this. Not like these early ones are too hard. I have a feeling that these are going to get a lot harder. I've heard they get a lot harder once you get up to like 80, which is quite a far away. But you can see, I think Zelus is going to do a freaking crazy amount of damage because he's kind of just soloing the whole front row. If you'll see, I bet Zelus did basically all of my damage there. So because there's no worry about cost in this dungeon, oops, I hate how it does that. Because there's no worry about cost in this dungeon, he's obviously going to be pretty strong. You can see he did a lot of damage along with, you know, the Epic, who just kind of crushed it, right? Look at that damage from, what's her name? Iona. Insane damage from Iona. So my Iona is level 60 and also was pretty similar. You can see Zelus didn't do a lot of damage just because all the waves are getting killed before. So I do use her there, but you know, I think definitely if you have Zelus, you're probably going to use them there. If you have Iona, you're probably going to use her. If you have Morrigan, you're probably going to use her. So those three, I think, are extremely strong in that game mode. So yeah, that's it for that game mode. Okay, and the other really important place for him is going to be the gear raid. So let's go through the gear raid. Let's see if I can beat one of the next levels here. I'll kind of just show you how much damage he's going to do for me there. I think this is the best place for him. 100% the gear raid is the best place for him. So let me try to beat one of these a little bit higher stages. I haven't spent a lot of time in here, so let me just try something here and see if we can get this going here. So all right, so here's the team. We're gonna use basically Morrigan. What's this girl's name again? Iona? I keep on forgetting. Iona. I'm really not good with the names so far. So Morrigan, Iona, and Zelus are gonna be basically my main carries as far as just AoE damage. Another one I could use here is, I could use her, but she's mostly for slows. I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna swap out one of my, I don't really need tanks here. Tanks are not that useful. I'm going to bring in whatever this chick's name is, Dolores. Dolores from Westworld. I'm going to bring her in there, and she's going to give some attack for my team. So let me kind of just show you the way that I do this. Now, these are mirrors, so you can do it top, you can do it bottom, you can do whatever you want. But okay, so I put her up in here. She's going to be able to hit both of these squares, okay? So that's why I put her there. I am also going to put a... No, I should probably restart this. Let me restart this. Let me, what I'll do is I'll put her here. Nope, she can't hit all three. We will put her here. Okay, so she gets an extra 2 where she's allowed to attack there. I'm going to put Dolores next to her to give to give an attack buff basically to the team. We'll face her that direction. It doesn't really matter which way she faces. And then we're going to put my big boy Zelus in here really quickly so I can compare the damage between Morrigan and Zelus. Because those are kind of my two big AoE nukers I got here. So you can see he's going to be able to hit those. And, you know, he's able to hit basically 3 tiles there. So that's pretty good. I guess I could have put him on the other side, but then I don't get the Dolores buff. So that's kind of why I put him on that side. And then what I'll do is I will put a healer back here to keep all of these, all of my little mages here alive. So I will put a healer. We'll face, that's probably a more valuable spot. Let's go this way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to throw in some AoE damage from the other side and some healers from the other side to give some buffs as well. Okay. So I will put my Iona here, hitting as much as I can. She's going to do a lot of damage as well. Now, these are kind of I only really have 3 AoE damage dealers, so this is kind of all I have. So what I do now is I kind of just throw hunters in here that have the range to be able to hit a lot of targets. The hunters, again, a lot of these are only single targets, so they're not really like going to be that useful for me. But yeah, that's kind of just what we're doing here. So sometimes what I do is I do throw tanks back here. I don't have a lot of tanks that can hit more than one target, so I don't usually do much with that. Okay, so here we go. We got the big boys coming in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buff my team with this right here. I messed up again because I put the hunter in the wrong spot, but that's neither here nor there. And then we're going to use these, we're going to use these, we're going to use these. And that's going to see how much damage we can pull out there again. So now, again, as you can see, I'm still might lose this. We'll kind of see what happens here. I wanted to get rid of all of those little guys there. Yeah, okay, we're getting the boss down fairly quickly here. So not awful, not awful. Let's shield everyone a little bit. Let's try to get this down here. So you can see I basically have already used my whole team. I can't really deploy anyone unless I'm getting some deaths or anything like that. So there we go. There's our first death. Who even died? Who did I even lose? Can't even really tell. Oh, I lost a hunter. Okay, I lost a hunter. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw a melee out here just to try to block the boss in case he is able to block that, break that shield there. I'm sorry, break that wall. So we're going to do that here. I should not have put that hunter that far back into the fray there. Come on, kill the boss already. Kill the boss. This one's going to be close. This one's going to be really close. I think we're going to be able to do it, though. I think we're going to be able to do it. Let's heal them up. Boss is almost dead. The wall is almost dead. We're losing some more heroes here, unfortunately. I should have maybe just put a bunch of healers on these 3 to make sure I keep them alive, but they're alive for now, so we'll kind of just leave it. We'll use you to get some more damage out there. I have his ult, and my Dolores is dead, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and use it. I can't use the Dolores ult. Here we go. There's that. I need to build up my Dolores a little bit more, make her a little bit tankier so she's able to live a little bit more. I need to rank her up, I think, as well. So, yeah, that's that. All right, so we're gonna just throw some more damage in here. Whatever I got alive. We're gonna shield my team here. I wish I could shield that wall. I don't think I can. Okay, the wall is almost down, but I think we're actually, we might actually have this in the bag here. We might actually have this. So, okay, let's use that ultimate there. We have a couple final little stragglers making it in, and man, they're just getting wrecked. All right, we'll check the damage between Zelus and Morrigan and see how that's going. Can't even use the ult. Okay, so we got another 3-star of a stage there. This is really where Zelus is going to be strong. Let's see how the damage compared to some of my other heroes here. This is the first time I'm doing this all live here, so let's try it out and see what we got going on. Ooh, we got a oh, I thought that was one of the special ones there. Okay, so did 7.5 million, so did about half the damage of Morrigan. But did a lot more than Iona. I think we did lose Iona a couple times. I think she did die a couple times. But yeah, so pretty solid. Half the damage of Morgan. I'm pretty happy with that because he's only 5-star and she's 6-star level 60. So there's kind of a big difference in the amount of stats. Like if we go look real quick at those two heroes, you'll see there is quite a big difference between the stats of the two. So if we go here, details, we got attack of whatever that is, 10, 11,000, okay? 11,000 attack. If we go here, we got basically 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got basically 3,000 more attack on Morgan, probably just because of her being level 60. So maybe I will level 60 Zelus just for this gear dungeon. I do think that's going to be the best content for him. There might be a couple other places, but I think the big ones are just going to be Tide and Gear Raid 1. So I don't think he's super high priority in the build order. However, Gear Raid 1 is the only place you can get gear. Actual gear. I call these accessories, so I don't really call those gear, but it is really the only place you can get those 2-piece sets. So, yeah. As far as sets on her, we talked about it, I guess, slightly, but this set is really good if you have this one, just because it's AoE damage, basically for having, you know, 6% for every enemy within the attack range. So that one's really good. I mean, the cost one is not really enough to make a difference. That one doesn't really count. This one's just okay. I feel like you're really going to use the AoE damage, or I feel like you're going to use this one. That's pretty much it. As far as sets up here, you're probably only going to use not that one. Not that one. You could probably use the crit damage one if you really wanted to. The attack one. You're probably going to use that attack one, or you're probably going to use this attack one or this crit one. That's going to be the best gear for him. But yeah, Gear Raid 1, that's where you're going to use him. I'm sure you'll use him in here. If you have a fully built one, you can probably use him in here. Maybe even the basic trial. Might be pretty good in the basic trial if you put him somewhere in the middle, maybe, so he can hit a lot of targets, maybe at the end or maybe in the middle. Might be pretty decent in there. I guess he is recommended there. You can see it. You can see he does have a recommended above him, so that's probably another place to use him. But okay, that's gonna be pretty much of the video. Just wanted to do a spotlight on my Zelus. I got him built out last night, so wanted to kind of make a little guide on him. So that's what I think. Avoid the attack speed gear on him if you can. Just give him a lot of attack, a lot of crit, and you're going to use him in Gear Raid, and I don't know if you'll use him many other places just because of the cost. If this cost was lower, I think he would be top tier for sure. So, okay, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like and the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.